What's going on, Jeromes? So, disrespect from the national media, jabroni haircuts, it's nothing new when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings. And in fact, we were born into it. We were molded by it. All that stuff. But sometimes it's just so obtuse, it just makes you want to just like scream into the dark chasm of the universe. Or something like that. And respect. So the 33rd team has been a new media entity. A lot of former executive coaches, players contributing. It's some really good insider stuff. But they missed the mark here. So Paul Domowitch, great. Awesome. So he did his final regular season power rankings. Bills are up top, sure. But you would think that, all right, so Vikings 13-4, wanting some more. The Vikings are the 3 seed in NFC, that they would just get a modicum of respect. But no. Also, so I'm not a UI UX person, but I know what I like as a user. And this site literally had 19 autoplay videos. Like, it was a cacophony of sound. It was kind of ridiculous. But I don't know. Like, again, I'm not a web designer. Maybe there's a rationale behind it, but it was kind of ridiculous. Anyways, 1, Bills, yes. 2, Niners, Riri. Oh, Riri. All right, so, I mean, is this overall power rankings, or is this who played well last week? I want to know. Bengals at 3. Okay. Then you have the Chiefs at 4. I mean, the Chiefs are the 1 seed. Chiefs have probably the league MVP in Mahomes. So, okay, they're down at 4, number 3 in the AFC. I don't know. And even though I understand that the Bills beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead and the Bengals beat the Chiefs in Cincy, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But also, I do like the specter of the neutral site AFC Championship game, Chiefs-Bills. That'll be funny. Eagles are down at 5. So you got the Eagles, who are the 1 seed in the NFC. They're now at 5. They're not even number 1 ranked in the NFC. The Niners are ahead of them. 6 Chargers. Really? All right. So, the Chargers qualified for the playoffs, except then they just sort of limped in. It was like, hey, congratulations, you lost to the Broncos, and just sort of mailed things in. Also, you got Mike Williams hurt, and he may not be available for the playoffs with that back injury. Awesome. Then you got the Jaguars. Duval. All right. So I sort of get that one. Then you got the Lions. The Lions did not make the playoffs. The Lions got their asses kicked by Carolina. And I know that they went on a bit of a run towards the end of the season, including beating the Vikings, whatever. And yes, the Lions are going to be dangerous for many years to come. They have a bevy of draft picks. They got the Rams' first-round pick, which is extremely high from the Matthew Stafford trade. And you like what's going on in Detroit. Dan Campbell's got him playing good ball. Doesn't matter. How are they 8? Sure. 9, the Cowboys. The Cowboys we got any more wax. The Cowboys had an outside shot at the 1 seed, and they just did not show up at all. Dak was ass. Thank you. Anyways, 10, Steelers. Again, Steelers did not make the playoffs, but, respect Mike Tomlin, never had a losing season. You knew that the Steelers weren't going to have a losing season. Also, they had playoff dreams alive, but things didn't break their way the final week. The Ravens are up at 11, where, the Ravens without Lamar are basically just like TCU trying to play Georgia. They've limped along. I don't really buy into them. Like, the defense is solid, but offensively, Greg Roman is just without Lamar. All right. Then you got the Vikings at 12. All right. So this is what they wrote. Last week, beat the Bears, whatever. This week, Giants, whatever. Previous 12. So, they weren't even getting the time of day previously. Good news, the Vikings finally beat a bad team by more than 1 score. They beat a bad team week 1 by more than 1 score. Got them. The Vikings defense is 31st in yards allowed, allegedly, and 29th in points allowed, allegedly. They gave up 445 to the Giants in a 3-point win week 16. Okay, is that it? All right, that's it. All right, so the Vikings barely rank above the Giants at 13, a 9-7-1, even though they're going to be hosting them as a 6 seed in the wild card weekend. Vikings a 3 seed. But all right, so let me get this straight. So the Vikings in your power rankings are behind 2 teams that didn't even make the playoffs. So they're behind the Lions, they're behind the Steelers, and they're behind Duval. They're behind the Jaguars, they're behind the Chargers. Oh, really? And several of these teams have single-digit wins. It's not 13. And again, I get the point differential. I get that the Vikings doing well in 1-score games. You know who didn't do well in 1-score games? Most of these teams. That's what happens, man. But it's okay. I was just thinking that an outlet that's comprised of people who've been involved in the league, executives, coaches, players, would understand, like, hey, it's hard to win a ball game in this league. It's hard to win 13 freaking games, and so up the division with multiple weeks left in the year. Also, how are the Packers 14? How? I mean, the Packers had a win-and-in situation, and they crapped the bed, specifically Aaron Rodgers. Or just, did you hear that? Kirby Joseph just picked off Rodgers again. So I don't want to hear this. This is just redonkulous. Like, where do they have the Bears? 12? Nah. Anyways, it's just another one of those things where you're looking for motivation. I mean, if the Vikings do want some bulletin board material, I mean, it's very easy to find all over the place. It's just shocking, isn't it? Shocking. But your thoughts are thoughts. The 33rd team disrespects the Vikings, putting them 12th on their final regular season power rankings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.